Today we will discuss about skeletal muscle contraction. To know the skeletal muscle contraction, firstly we have to know what is neuromuscular junction. Mainly neuromuscular junction is a chemical synapse formed between a motor nerve fiber and a muscle fiber. So mainly it is the site in which a motor nerve fiber can transmit action potential or signals towards the muscle fibers to cause muscle contraction. So firstly, presynaptic membrane, which is mainly the neural membrane or nerve terminal. Firstly, when an action potential comes towards the nerve terminal, voltage gated calcium channels get opened, which are located at the neural membrane. When the opening of calcium channels occurs, calcium influx occurs, and this influx of calcium ions causes activation of calcium calmodulin protein kinase. This protein kinase then phosphorylates synapsin protein. What is synapsin protein? Mainly, this synapsin protein anchors the acetylcholine vesicles, mainly which are attached by synapsin proteins towards the cytoskeleton of nerve terminals, motor nerve terminals. So, when these phosphorylated synapsin proteins can't anchor these vesicles towards the cytoskeleton, acetylcholine vesicles diffuse to the neural membrane, and exocytosis of these vesicles occurs, and acetylcholine neurotransmitters come out of the neural membranes towards the synaptic space. When this acetylcholine comes towards the synaptic space, the postsynaptic membrane, where some receptors of acetylcholine are located mainly at the subneural cleft. These receptors receive acetylcholine, and acetylcholine gated ion channel, mainly sodium channels, get opened. When sodium influx occurs, this increase the membrane potential of muscle, and then an action potential appears. When an action potential appears, coming through a motor nerve to its endings on muscle fibers, at each ending the nerve secretes a small amount of neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Then this acetylcholine activated ion channels, when gets stimulated or opened, then sodium influx occurs. When sodium influx occurs, this action potential, when depolarization occurs, this action potentials moves through T tubules to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. When T tubules transmit action potential to the sarcoplasmic reticulum release calcium ions to the sarcoplasm. These calcium ions then bind with troponin C. And what is troponin C? Mainly troponin C is a subunit of troponin, where troponin is also a protein of actin filaments. So, when troponin C is bounded by calcium ions, uncovering of myosin binding sites of actin occurs. Mainly, myosin binding sites are some ADP molecules of G-actin molecules of actin strength. When this active site get uncovered, the interaction between myosin and actin occurs, and there will be formed a many cross linkages between actin and myosin, and sliding of actin filament on thick filaments, myosin filaments, and producing shortening, and this will cause then muscle contraction. Mainly it is the procedure of muscle contraction caused by an action potential, which mainly transmitted from the motor nerve fibers towards the postsynaptic membrane, mainly muscle fibers membrane, and causes muscle contraction. and it is the mainly general mechanisms of skeletal muscle contraction. That's all for today.